Hi, everybody. It's Valerie Ling here, coming to you live from home. I've had a cancellation in my diary that was meant to be an online appointment, and I'd already stacked up my day, and I had a spare moment, and I thought I'd jump online and just see what would happen if I just waited, and if there was anybody watching with me, and maybe there might be a conversation to be had. I have a tendency, I noticed, to just talk and talk and talk and talk. And there's usually somebody watching, but because I'm racing off somewhere, typically don't have a chance to answer any questions. Who knows? There might be nobody to come on live with me and ask me any questions. In which case, I will just have a look and see what I can do to play with Facebook. Somebody watching, but because I'm racing off somewhere, typically don't have a chance to answer any questions. I wonder what you might do about your self-care routines. I'm going to be presenting at a tertiary college very soon at lunchtime. And it was really an open canvas for me to talk about anything related to my interest area in burnout. And I thought, well, if I only really had 20 minutes to hit an issue and really like hammer the nail into the issue, what would I talk about? And I decided that it would be about rest and self-care. Now, rest and self-care is probably the thing that gets talked about so much on social media and in articles. And actually, we all seem to love to have a rest and self-care party intellectually and like and love articles. But in my experience, it's like the biggest pushback I have when I'm actually working with the people who are sitting with me in the room. Why is that? I wonder if you have any ideas as to why that might be the case. I've tried to work out, because I used to, when my children were a lot younger, have this silly thought, although I'm sure a lot of mums with young children have this thought. I used to think to myself, oh, if I could have just a little bit of an illness that I could go to the hospital for 2 weeks, just a little bit, not too much that it was dangerous, like life-threatening, and not too much that it would lead to systemic damage. And this is not at all to minimize people who are in hospital, but just a little bit, just to go to hospital for 2 weeks, where someone would give me permission to actually sleep and put my feet up and just lie in bed in my jammies all day. And they'd serve me the little jelly cups. I don't even like jelly, but just the thought of someone making me something like a jelly cup, a non-essential item, and say, here you go, have a jelly cup. And to be able to take my food and think, oh, do I want chicken tonight, or do I want fish, or I don't want any veggies tonight. Not to share my food and to have a TV screen all day. Not minimizing the experience of being in hospital. I have been in hospital before. Just that thought. And like, why is it that it's so hard for us? We obviously desperately would love to have some self-care and rest, but it's so difficult for us to actually take it. What are your thoughts? Why does that happen? In my experience, a lot of times it's because we, number one, don't think that we have time for it. And there's this myth that at some point in our life, things will simplify and normalize, and then we will have time to rest. Number two, some of us worry about what other people might see of us if we are not doing anything, like if you're sitting down and having a cuppa or reading a newspaper or doing some coloring in, people might judge us. Number three, we often have personalities that are very driven, and it's the only way we know to do life, which is in the top gear. I don't drive a manual, so I don't have a clue what that gear would be. I drive an automatic. It automatically goes to like a D6. So maybe that's the drive, that we're just used to that. And maybe some of us actually also worry that if we stop, we'll never get going again. I do think that one features quite a bit as well. Now, for the majority of us, the truth is we may never have actually stopped to think about how to rest and replenish other than other than vacations and holidays and the crash factor. That is, I'll wait till I'll crash and then I rest. Yeah. I had a meeting with one of our newer associates in the practice, and we actually back-to-back had meetings. So the one meeting started at 9 o'clock. I framed that meeting and I said, well, no, it started at 8:30. I framed that meeting. I said, this meeting needs to finish at 9 o'clock so that we can switch gears and I can jump into something else. And when that meeting started, I said, I will have to switch gears. This meeting needs to go till 10 o'clock, till 10:30, because I need to jump into another meeting and switch gears. And at the end of the morning, my new associate said, well, you really pack a lot into a couple of hours, don't you? And the answer is yes, I do. But I can only do that if my brain and my body and my spirit and my relationships and my nutrition are working for me and with me. So I think it's a myth to think that self-care is to say to stop or to slow down or to lower your capacity. In actual fact, rest and self-care increases our capacity, it increases our ability to actually stay agile, to stay flexible, to stay emotionally even, and to feel resourced enough to do the things that we have to do. Well, this was a fantastic experiment. Nobody jumped in live with me. It's all good. Everybody is fully engaged doing other things. How about I sign off here? And I would love to hear what you do for self-care and rest. Chat to you later.